Welcome back to the Lost Warrior Meads. Today is part 2 of Vikings Blood. Alright, today's part 2 of Vikings Blood. We're going to be racking from this bucket here. Whoop. I'll wrap this bad boy. I'm bringing the towel and everything with it, apparently. To a new container. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's been about a little over 3 weeks now. We started this on the 15th of January, so it's been almost a month. It'll be a month tomorrow. Holy crap. I don't know if I left it in too long or whatever, but the water is just about level. There's no more bubbles. So I figured the fermentation has stopped. So that's going to be our next step. And we're going to go ahead and get that going today. I do have, as always, everything nice and sanitized and ready to go. Get all of this stuff out of here. My hands included. Sanitized with the water of awesome. Let's not put that directly in front of the camera. Fuck you. Ooh. Really excited to see how this works. I haven't used one ever. And our handy dandy reader. And we're going to throw on a different and new airlock. So we'll be using a different one instead of the one that's on the bucket right now. Because that's been used and I want it cleaned. So I made sure to buy a few of these bad boys to be able to switch out. This will be our first rack. We're going to do another one after this. And that last one will be to get most of the lees from the bottom out. This one is for like any back sweetening I have to do on top of adding, some amendments like the dried cherries that we have. So I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be fucking badass. Our spoon of awesome to stir the honey. I've come with some new gear. So, it's going to be awesome. Get everything set out, laid out of our hot sanitization water. Get this rocking and rolling. Gotta have the lid. You cannot forget the butt plug. Butt plugs are good for just about any occasion. I know a certain someone whose butt needs to be plugged because they can't stop ripping ass all the time. I don't get it. All the time. Like more than any human should. And always at the most inopportune moments. Doesn't matter if you're eating. Nah. Doesn't care. Ripping ass. Before we get started, let's take a little sip. Rockstar. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but they should totally sponsor me. I drink like 3 of these a day, have been for years. Lord knows I probably have spent enough money on their products to keep one of their factories or something open and alive and people working, because Lord knows I drink a lot of these. Cheers. Alright. So I've never done this before. I have no clue what I'm doing. As we've discussed in the last video. Super new at all of this. You guys get to come along with me on this adventure of awesome to learn how to make mead. For anybody who didn't watch the last video, we put 4 pounds of honey, 3 pounds of cherries, and a cinnamon stick. We used the Premier Rogue Red Star yeast, and we used some fermento. We did start off with a brew bag, but I quickly took that out because it was just coming up to the top, and I thought it was blocking things, but in all actuality, it was just a leak in the bucket here. So I did some taping and shoved it down in there really well. So if you want to see some awesomeness, go check out the last video. And you know, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Give us a follow. Let's go on this adventure together. But we're going to go ahead and get started on this bad boy. So everything has been sanitized. We use gravity to basically get everything going through this hose here. So incredibly excited to see how this works out. I'm not 100% sure exactly how I'm supposed to do any of this, but that's the point of all of this, is that I don't know, but we're gonna learn because I'm interested and I'm excited. So let's go ahead and throw the hose on this bad boy. I think it goes on this. I'm not absolutely sure if it does or not, but I'm like 90% sure it's supposed to. If I can hopefully do this without breaking it, that would be super great if I did not break this thing. That looks on, right? Yeah, well, that looks on. Yeah, why not? Let's go with it. Let's go with it. I haven't opened this thing since the 15th, so I'm incredibly excited to see what it looks like in there. Hopefully we don't have anything nasty in it. It's been like almost 4 weeks since this bucket's been opened. And right now I'm just ripping off the tape and everything that I did to seal this fucking thing up. And yeah. Sketchy. I mean, the color, from what I can tell, is going to be a nice red. Reddish purple, looks like, from what I'm seeing here. We definitely want to take out our airlock first. Holy bejesus. Get your ass out. That's what I'm talking about. Throw that in the bucket there. Whew! I can smell the alcohol. Hardcore. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way here. Let's bring the bucket right in this freaking middle. Open this bad boy up. Let's see what we've got. Oh my Lanta. Ooh, that smells hard like alcohol. Holy crap. Smells pretty damn good though. Not even gonna lie. Well, I'll take some pictures and I'll make sure to post that, maybe even a little video here on my phone, and I'll put that somewhere like here. I don't know. Wow. I was told that the cherries were gonna change white, but there's a little bit of a whitish hue to them, but not as much as I was expecting. But my Lanta, just if you look on the side here, it's just red. Alright, so let's go ahead and get racking. First rack for our first mead. Got a little stool here next to me, and we're just gonna get it going. We'll put the hose. I'm gonna go ahead and switch things around a little bit. We're gonna move this over to the side a little bit here, and make sure that we get this hose right down at the bottom because we don't want to introduce too much oxygen to our brew. And apparently we just put it in and do a little pumpy pump. And it's going. It's just going. This is insane. Oh my gosh, you can see how red it is. It's so good. It is so good. This is gonna take a little while. So as soon as this is all done going through, then we'll be back. But I don't want to sit here and waste your guys' time on sitting here watching me just rack this thing. So, I mean, it is filling decently fast. So I'm not worrying too much about getting all of the lease out at the moment. I do want to try to, you know, get as much of it out as I can right now, but I'm not too worried about that. I want to get as much product as I can, much of this brew as I can, and then, you know, on this next rack, I'll worry about getting as much of the lease out as physically possible. But right now, I'm trying to get as much of this product as possible to really fill this 1 gallon container. And this is where I'm going to be adding some more honey. I think we're going to do about a pound, maybe a pound and a half, depending on what the ABV is and what the readings are. We started off at a 1.124 is what it was. And yeah. So we'll see what it is now. I know that it's going to go up a little bit. I hope that with the dried cherries that I'm going to put in and a little bit of the honey for back sweetening, because I like my stuff really sweet. I don't like it too dry. So I like to sit kind of at that like 1.02 level, 0.25, maybe even 3. It's going really fast, so maybe I don't even need to, you know, come back. You guys can just sit here and chill with me because it is going super fast. It's already almost done. So I guess we'll stop it right here and then come right back. All right, so we finished up here, and I'm just gonna show you like what's inside. Like, look at that. I did lose a little bit, but really not much. Like, there's just mainly soupy lees down at the bottom there. Or lees, I guess some people decide to pronounce it. I don't really know the proper way, so please don't hesitate to educate me, because that's the whole point of this. All right. Get my hands all cleared off here. And we're going to get this bad boy. Bring it up. Look at the color. Look at that. It's like a dark, deep blood red. They call it Vikings blood for a reason, right? Like, they call it Vikings blood for a reason. I mean, this looks awesome. This is great. This looks so cool. I'm excited. I'm astounded at how much is here. Like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. This is going to be really good. I'm going to go grab a couple of things that I had forgotten before, and we'll be right back. All right. So I went and grabbed, my little tasting cup here. Because, I mean, we got to taste it. I can't not taste it. And we're going to check the ABV in this bad boy. So be very careful putting that in there, because glass on glass, we don't want that to shatter. Alright, let's get this bad boy. Oh, no. Added oxygen. Don't do that. Squeeze before you put in, then put in. Don't do what I just did, folks at home. Squeeze, then slurp. We don't want to add oxygen to this thing. We just don't. Is it still not floating yet? Holy smokes. Oh, wow. Okay. I might have to just use the tub itself. Ooh, that is to the top. That is to the top. And it's still not floating. Oh no. What does that mean? Oh, it is floating. Nope, it's not. It's not floating at all. Okay. Alright, we're gonna take just a little bit of this. I'm gonna spill. Oh, I'm spilling. I'm making a mess. This is horrible. Lessons learned, people. Lessons learned. I'm gonna need to get a bigger cylinder here. And I'm gonna take this out and just slightly pour that back in so we don't have a whole lot of bubbles, and then I'm just gonna drop her in here. In hopes that we will start to float. Oh no. I don't know how this is gonna work. Oh no. She's not. It was like straight at 1.000, and I had a little bit of floatage in there. So we're gonna say it's at 1.000. I can give this another try, but I don't think it's gonna float at all. Straight 1.000. I need a taller one of these bad boys, is what I need. We're gonna say 1.000, which means that it definitely hit the 16% mark. Okay? So, I mean, it floated a little bit. Jiminy Christmas, it smells like a wine. Is that what it's supposed to smell like? I mean, it's a little cloudy too. Could be from, you know, I did get some of that lease. So, definitely a little cloudy. Nothing, it's not clear. It isn't. It's definitely cloudy. That's really not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Not as sweet as I'd like, but this is really not bad. And we're going to add a little bit more sweetness today. And we're going to add them dried cherries. But my god, this is pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Not bad. Oh. So real quick, what I'm going to do is I've got these dried cherries here. We're going to, here in a minute before I put these in, I'm going to put them in like a strainer, and I'm going to run them over with some hot water and get some of the sunflower oil and stuff off of them. But yeah, first things first, let's get our scale here. I'm going to put these back in sanitization water. We're going to grab our kitchen scale here. We're going to put this on the kitchen scale. And we're going to turn her on. Okay. That way it's completely tared out. And then I'm going to warm up my honey. We're going to put about 1.5 pounds, maybe 1 pound of honey. And then we're going to check the ABV once again. And yeah. See where we're at, because there's no doubt in my mind. I know that I need to get a little taller one or whatever, so I can get a little bit of that flotation a little better for when it does reach that 1.000, but there is no doubt in my mind that it has hit a 1.000. So we'll be right back I'm going to get my honey kind of warmed up a little bit, throw it in the microwave for about 15 seconds, and then we're going to come back here and we're going to pour it in. All right, so back at it. Got the honey warmed up a little bit. Like I said, we're going to throw about a pound, maybe a little over a pound. So we'll just start pouring that in. Maybe I didn't warm it up enough. Oh man, this is supposed to be a 3-pound thing. Oh, this is about a pound actually. So we're actually just gonna put this whole gosh darn thing in there. That's what we're gonna do. 16 ounces, that's a pound. Right, let's get that going. There we go. Really starting to get in there now. So the reason why I do more than one rack. So this first rack is to add any amendments to, you know, any of that stuff, like the dried cherries or the back sweetening, in hopes that after this there won't be any like fermenting happening. About 13 ounces of honey. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off, and then we'll come right back. Super good. Super delicious. Alright, so now that we've got the honey in, I'm going to stir this bad boy up. Not too much. I don't want to get like air in it, but I want the honey to be mixed in. So this is going to take a minute, because I don't want a whole bunch of oxygen introduced to my brew, but I do want the honey really mixed in there. And then we're going to give it another taste after I get it all mixed up, and see and take another reading as well. Since I'm not really sloshing it around, you know, it's going to take a minute to get this honey to really kind of like mix in there. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Oop, I don't want too much rustling. I don't want a whole bunch of bubbles. We're also kind of degassing at the same time, which is great from what I've been told. So, I'm getting all those bad gases out. Still see some chunks rolling around in there. That could just be some of the leaves that got picked up. Like I said, we're not really trying to get... We didn't really try to get all of the leaf out this time. But I'm just trying not to get so much oxygen involved. I don't want vinegar. I want mead. So Kind of let that sit for just a second. Make sure I'm not seeing any honey sitting at the bottom or something like that. With just a little bit more of a stir. Just a little bit. But I'm not making a whole lot of bubbles. There's not a whole lot of bubbles happening. It's just a nice, even stir. I'm not splashing it. I'm not sloshing it. However you want to call it or whatever you call it. But I'm just giving it a nice, steady stir. Alright. Throw that back in the sand bucket. Pull that bucket back to us here. There's a couple of things we want to get out of this bad boy. That's going to be our tester, hydrometer, our baster, and our cylinder. Hopefully we get some yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully we get some flotation on this one. Didn't sanitize my tasting cup, so we're gonna go ahead and dump this a little bit here. Let's get this going. Let's see where we're at with our test. Oh, it's already starting to float. So let's give that a look-see. Give it a little spin stir. Alright. Yeah, so we're sitting at like 1.022. 1.022. Looks like. Let me just get it to the top here just to make absolutely sure I'm getting the most accurate reading. There we go. And just know that I'm pouring everything back in because all of this has been sanitized. If you haven't sanitized it, do not try pouring stuff back into your brew. That's going to cause bacteria that you don't want. And I mean, it is floating. It is definitely floating. There we go. It is absolutely floating. So let that do its thing for a second there. Give it a little spin. Alright, with just the honey itself, we're sitting at 1.022. 1.022. So that's exactly where we're sitting at right now. Take this out. And we're going to give it another taste to see if anything's changed with that sweetening. Just a little taste. Nothing too major. There's definitely a different smell to it now. You can definitely tell. Oh man. That's going to be dangerous. That's going to be very dangerous. Oh my gosh. I need just a little bit more. Don't judge me. Alright, I'm not an alcoholic or anything. I think this just tastes really good. Which is good. Because I made it. So I'm going to have to drink it, right? Golly, that just smells really... Wow. Wow, man. Woo! I cannot wait to taste the finished product. We still have the dried cherries to add. We still have the dried cherries to add. This is insane. In the membrane. Insane! Got no brain! Sorry, had to. We'll go ahead and pour this back in. Has been sanitized. Don't want to splash it. Don't want to sploosh it. Not trying to add too much oxygen. A little bit there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cherries. I'm going to put them in a strainer that I have sitting in the sanitized water. And rinse it off with like really hot water. Try to get some of that, is it sunflower oil off of the cherries. I know that it might not be the biggest deal in the world, but some people say it is, and I would rather be safe than sorry. So that's what we're going to do. Cool? We'll be right back. Alright, so we rinsed off our dried cherries. Now the only thing to do left is to add them to our brew. Oh, no, don't be splashing. Don't be splashing. Let's try to be very careful with this. Don't want to, I don't want to make too much splashes. Ooh. Hardcore. It's very difficult. Oh my god. Okay. We're just going for it. It just wants to happen. Okay. It just wants to happen. I don't know. I tried my best. These hit the towel. I'm not going to throw them in. Yeah. And that is it on that bad boy. Take our lid. Throw it on top. Make sure it's super tight. Down. Throw in our butt plug. Yeah. Bring this to the side a little bit. And then we have our new airlock, which I'm going to put some water in now, some sanitization water. Make sure we get that to the level fill line there. Probably should be good. It's a little tiny smidge, like nothing to worry about underneath those lines. So, I'm going to throw that bad boy in there. Make sure that's nice and locked in. And this is what we have. Boom. Beautimus. Got our cherries sitting here down at the bottom, which makes life super easy when we go to rack it again. And if there's a little bit of fermenting that happens, we'll know. Try to push some of the oxygen from on top out, but it is filled. This thing is filled. So this is gonna be good. Now we let it sit for a few more weeks and call it a day. See where it's at that time. But thank you so much for watching again. Let's move this out of the way. I appreciate you. Come follow along with me as we learn how to make mead. We're going to be doing a bunch of different recipes. I only have a certain amount of money at the moment, so it's not like I have a whole bunch of, fermenters or anything like that I can be using right now. So everything that I've got, I'm working with. So come with me on this adventure. Let's learn. Let's grow. If you guys have any comments, anything like that to help me, as far as pronunciation, steps I should be taking, things like that, throw them in the comments. I want to hear all about that stuff. I don't know. I can't fix what I don't know, is what I like to say. I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow. This is a fantastic hobby. I'm incredibly excited. Just based off of that little bit of a taste that I had, I am incredibly excited. I'm not knowledgeable as far as like tasting wines or meads or anything like that, so I can't give you like, this has got a chestnut, whatever. Like I don't know any of that shit. Like I don't. So someone help me out. Teach me. Let me know. I'm here. I want to grow. I want to learn. Let's do it. Thank you again. If you like this, like and subscribe as always. And catch you guys on the flip side. And as always, let's make some mead. See ya.